Jack, Christian, lap it up, fellas. The love of the adoring home fans. There's nothing like it, is there, fellas? Nothing like it. Max must be here somewhere. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to Aussie Villain Racing for the Australian Grand Prix. And in honour of Mick and Christian and everybody else that's Australian at the team, we have a special livery. It is the green and gold, or the gold and green in this particular case. It is very, very nice, I think. I toyed with whether we have the green as the main colour or the yellow as the main colour. I think the yellow just kind of, it shows up the sponsors a little bit better, I think, this way. So that's why we've gone with this way. But yeah, that's our special Aussie Villain Racing livery for this Australian Grand Prix. And a race where I really want to try and bounce back, having, of course, failed to score points in Saudi Arabia last time out. Partly, or certainly a big part of it, down to an ill-timed safety car at the end there. But yeah, it's going okay. Now, we've had 2 weeks off, but not much has changed. The main reason for that, actually, is we did have a wind tunnel data issue, so that's been resolved, but it's put back all our designs, a couple of 8 days. Obviously, so yeah, we're still waiting on those things to come through. It's not the end of the world, but we're kind of where we left off in that sense. We've only sort of progressed 3 days, but yeah, we'll see what we get here. The car maybe doesn't rank too well at this particular track again, but we saw that against in Saudi, and we did okay in the end. It was just a ill-timed red flag and safety car really put us in a bit of a difficult spot. So it looks as though we are expecting rain for the race here. Circuit map there, red sector 1, blue sector 2, yellow sector 3. Sections by speed we can see there. It is similar-ish, isn't it, to Saudi. There's probably a few more slower traction zones, but that's about it. 15th and 16th on the grid is where we rank right now. Now there may be some teams bringing updates to this race. 19 seconds is the pit stop loss. Now I think 19 seconds is pretty good in terms of making an extra stop, particularly when it's 0.7 of a second between the soft and the hard. If you avoid a hard tire and go soft, for example, I think that's going to work out okay for you. Last year it was Max Verstappen that won here. Let's see, if it can't be asked, maybe we get a Piastri or a Denny Rick win. Let's see what we can do. All right, so 18th and 18th, that's should be where we're finishing without any question of a doubt or shadow of a doubt. And let's head off to Melbourne now and see what sort of weather is it that, well, I'll just talk through this time. It's light rain. Always the worst. Always the worst. All right, I'll do some free practice. It's F3 this weekend as well, so our three affiliate drivers will be in action. But I'll see you for qualifying momentarily. All right, so we've done free practice, and it was okay with a minor hiccup at the end. So Van Dorn was 7th in FP1, Doohan down there in 15th, which is absolutely fine. FP2, Doohan was 9th, and Van Dorn was there in 14th. And then FP3, now you may notice Albon has a penalty. That is because he took out Albon. Be clever, wouldn't it? It's because he took out Stoffel. So Doohan ended up 6th, which is very, very nice indeed. Stoff, though, was down there in 16th, only did a time on a hard tyre. And even worse than that, he does have damage to his car, which is less than ideal. But we don't have a setup for him because he didn't get a chance to do it. So yeah, that's definitely put him on the back foot, and those engines look like they took a bit of a knock as well. It's going to be a wet race. We'll go with a new engine for him and new gearbox. Let's have a look what's doing. I was going to try and hold off another race. Yeah, see, we have no idea what he's set up. It's not good for Van Dorn, really. So I think we just go with the 85 that we know, rather than, I mean, that's not terrible. I wonder if we could borrow a little bit off of Doohan's setup. So he has a rear wing of 13, so I wonder if we do that. And then just kind of play around with things a little bit. Try and get us something. I mean, we're guessing, aren't we? Which is never great. But we'll see. We'll see what we get there. Now, Doohan, car parts, how are you doing here? Yeah, see, I want to try and get everything to go another race, especially because this is a wet race. So, actual out-and-out straight line speed maybe won't be quite so important. Anyway, Q1 should be fine. But maybe we will just have a little look as the special liveried AVR comes out to warm up its tyres before we go for our first flying lap here. Alright, so unfortunately we do need to go again with Doohan. He's currently outside looking in 17th. I'm not 100% sure what happened on his first lap. It was obviously a new set of tyres. And yeah, he's like half a second off of Stoffel, who's in 9th and absolutely fine. So, has done a green first sector. I'm assuming he got traffic somewhere. I was watching Van Dorn's lap because I thought he was going to get held up by a Williams, which I think he did in the end. But it didn't affect his lap too badly, as we can see. So we've gone green, green. This needs to count. I mean, imagine being knocked out in Q1, sorry, in your home race. Ricciardo avoids that indignity. Doohan is currently 21st. Foster's the line goes 8th. That's more like it, Jack. So, in the end, easy as you like. And Sauber's a Williams. And Aston Martin is maybe a surprise. Sonoda as well. And O'Ward in the Haas. Alright, so both cars are currently outside looking in. Van Dorn 11th. Doohan here in 14th. So, let's hope. That was, of course, a run on old tyres, used tyres. So Van Dorn may have a little bit more to give here. Now, Albon does have a grid penalty for taking out Van Dorn. So if there's any justice, then Stoffel will get ahead of him here and knock him out. And if we can do that, of course, if we 3 places is the grid penalty. So if we can be within 3 places of Albon, even if we get knocked out, then we will still jump up a spot. Now, we're catching this is Ricciardo in front quite quickly. Arguably too quickly, because we're going to start getting some aero wash here and hurting our lap. So, let's see what we do. Van Dorn, oh, goes 6th. Van Dorn goes 6th. Doohan is currently 10th. Hamilton's going to ruin his day, isn't he? Where is Hamilton? Is he on a lap? He is. Is he going faster? Oh, he is. Doohan's going to miss out on Q3. Oh, don't do it, Lewis. Oh, Doohan's 11th. Alright, so here we go. Van Dorn is currently 8th after a first run on, again, the used tyres. So we've got our fresh set here. It'll leave us 2 fresh sets of softs for the race as well. Now, in a light-rained race, we don't know how often we're going to have to go from slicks to wets and whatnot. Or if it inters, really, if it's light rain. So, to have 2 new sets I thought was worthwhile doing. Rather than do 2 runs on new tyres for Q3. So hopefully that will pay off for us, and Van Dorn can still put in a lap here, and then also have the tyres for the race. But let's see. I wouldn't want to go backwards, that's for sure, on new tyres. We're not going to be behind Pourchaire. He's done his run. Can we go further forward up the grid? No, we've improved, but not enough. And Stroll is done. So we're 8th. So, not a problem. If we'd done the 15.8, now I think we might have benefited actually from a tow from that RB. So, maybe something to remember for future years. Albert Park is maybe one for a tow. Alright, so we start on an inter... Oh, look at that. Dry tyre right at the end. Seriously? That's what we're going to do here? That's a dry tyre there, isn't it? I mean, lap 40 is a dry tyre. So, there somewhere. I mean, that's a very straightforward race strategy, isn't it? It's dictated by the weather. And, yeah, so we're just going to have to try and race well, because that's what this is going to come down to. Alright, welcome back for the Australian Grand Prix. It stands out, doesn't it? It certainly stands out, which is good. I thought it might, the yellow and green. I mean, there's the green Aston Martin, so that's why I sort of went predominantly yellow, even though it is a different shade of green. It's still green, isn't it? So... I think as a special livery goes, Doohan has gone backwards at a rate of knots there. So that's not ideal. And yeah, Van Dorn has held his position, which is good. So let's well, let's see. Maybe I think if we've learned anything from the first few races here, 8th is kind of our ceiling. All things being equal, because I think we can beat Pourchaire. I don't think we can beat Bottas. And so the top 7 are kind of beyond us a little bit. So yeah, 8th and 9th is kind of where I think should aim to finish. And even to be honest, I think Van Dorn can beat Pourchaire. I'm not sure that Doohan can just now. So maybe even 8th and 10th is sort of our base positions where we should be looking to finish, and anything we get beyond that we can look as a bit of a bonus, I think. But yeah, certainly the first few cars have taken off here. There's no DRS in the damp, so no point wasting battery. And yeah, well, let's see how we go here. So right, not ideal this for Doohan. He was chasing down Hulkenberg for 13th, and he's had a little bit of a lock up into turn 3, got a little bit wide. Actually held it quite well, to be fair to him, but yeah, it's dropped off the back of Hulk and has a little bit of work to do now to catch him again. So yeah, I think the other thing we're seeing without DRS, Pourchaire and Van Dorn are sort of going back and forth. Without the DRS, we lack straight line speed, therefore we're not really able to pull away. The straights are too long, I think, and might be a tough one. It might be a tough one. Oh, we got a safety car. Why is everybody pitting? Why is everybody pitting? For new inters, I suppose, but these are going to get you to the end. We want track position, don't we? Surely we want track position. Everybody's going to bank up, which is fine. I don't understand why you would want to give up track position. Alright, so safety car is ending. Now, I know my golden rule is always stop under a safety car, but I don't really... I mean, we're 6th and 9th after that. Yes, everybody has new inters, but is the drop-off really that significant? I mean, I don't know what the answer to that is. I mean, maybe it's not going to make that much of a difference because we're just going to drop back to where we were based on pace anyway. There goes Pourchaire ahead of Doohan. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Let me know. Well, I mean, time will tell if it was the right thing to do or not. But yeah, I just... Yeah, like I say, we're probably just going to drop back to where we were anyway because that's where our pace says we are, but... Anyway, we'll see. So, yeah, we're in this view, which always tells you it's a cracking race. We have just dropped back to where we were. Van Dorn and Tsunoda are sort of going toe for toe. Doohan is sort of in a bit of an Aston Martin sandwich right now. He's slowly but surely dropping off the back of Stroll and into the clutches of Hulkenberg. So we're just where we were. It's worked out a little bit better for Doohan because I think he has moved up. I think he was behind Ricciardo and Lawson as well, wasn't he? So it worked for Doohan. Van Dorn's just kind of broken even. Was he 9th before the stops? I can't actually remember now, or the safety car. So, yeah, I don't think it particularly mattered. Would we had fresh inters on, been able to go with the Mercedes a little bit more? Perhaps, we'll never know. But yeah, we're just kind of going around in order right now. There's Doohan falling behind Hulkenberg, which was somewhat inevitable, and we'll come back around lap 40, I guess, for the dry tyres. It is still predicted to sort of come out round about lap 40. I'll keep an eye on, maybe it's just going to be just after, because we're at 128, 127 now, so that's still a little ways away. So it'll be just after lap 40 if our weather predictor is correct, which it usually isn't. So that'll be exciting to see what actually happens. Alright, so we've got some excitement here. It's just gone to dry, which means DRS is enabled. So this is a little bit of danger for Doohan, actually, because he's not... He didn't have DRS there, did he? It may have been closed at the detection point. No, there goes Ricciardo. So yeah, that's obviously not ideal. We'll try and get that position back. We'll see if we can get Tsunoda back here. How dry are we talking here? Is it going to dip back to wet? It looks like it is. I mean, right now it's probably still inters, even though the track is technically dry. I haven't sort of found the exact crossover point, but usually around 80 is when the soft tyre actually becomes quicker. As Doohan gets back past Denny Rick, and let's hope it's a double AVR overtaking RB, because no, not quite. But yeah, definitely still inters for now. But, yeah, Doohan is... You know what we do with him. We'll go and deploy and try and catch up. What we don't want to do is fall away from this battle. But he's a little ways away from the points now as well. So that's obviously not ideal. And there's not many options we can have. It's not like we can come in early and get an undercut or anything, because we've got to wait. You know, we're waiting on the track. So it's one of these races, I think, where the strategy is determined by the weather, and it's just a little bit of sort of follow the leader until we actually get to a point where we can do something, and then it's just whether you go into a soft or a medium, really. So file this under not a classic, I think. Alright, so we are getting to the point now where we are expecting the track to start drying. We're at lap 39. Lap 40 was when I first thought maybe it would be time. Sonoda is, I think, at this point holding us up a little bit, so we're going to burn some battery and hopefully get past him here. It may not happen. There we go. We can just see the sun starting to come out there, can't we? So the track is going to start drying. And if we can't get Sonoda now, I'm going to be a little bit annoyed. Come on, Stoff. He's done a better lap that time. Yeah, we've kind of matched each other. So, as long as he's on a hurry up, that's okay.
Okay.
Doohan is he's just Doohan. Yeah, he's behind Ricciardo. We've got Hulkenberg and Stroll a little ways up the road as well. So, yeah, Doohan, don't think scoring points unless something strange happens. Van Dorn is in a good place to score at least 10th. He's 8 seconds up the road from Stroll. And it looks like we've got... suddenly Sonoda's had a bit of a hurry up. It may well be everybody sees the dry track coming and so pushing on those tyres. And they, of course, the advantage they have is that they do have a little bit more tyre life than what we've had. It's just getting a tad damper, but... Oh, yellow flag. Oh, spun. It's just not been his Australian Grand Prix, has it? Can we get a replay? He's come out of the second last corner and lit it up. Let's have a look here. He was right behind Ricciardo. Yeah. Silly, silly. Alright, so the rain has stopped. So, we are now at the point where track is going to start to dry. We're on board with Doohan, and he is not really... Well, Van Dorn is the closer one to the pit lane. And I would suspect it's going to be too early for him to come in. Is it going to be okay for Doohan? I'm going to take a guess and say it's worth a risk with him. So we'll come in this lap. The track has sort of gone to dry, but not really. So we'll bring him in, we'll put him on a deploy lap and hope that it works out okay, and it may well be as Van Dorn gets past Sonoda, and something's gone right, we've got a good stop there, so it may well be this is Van Dorn's lap to come in. As there's another yellow flag. It is not Van Dorn, it is Alonso having a lock-up from the lead. Okay, so Doohan, go, deploy, attack. You've got to try and make up as many positions here as you can, mate. And then Stoffel, let's see what you can do. This is definitely the right lap to come in. I wonder if anybody is going to stay out and give Doohan a chance. He's not done a personal best middle sector, which suggests maybe it is just a tad too soon. But let's deploy with Stoff. Has Doohan done any sort of better sectors? His last sector was a personal best. Who is still on Inters out here? So Russell and Bottas. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to make up too much on any of them. A lot of medium tyre runners, which is surprising. Doohan's done a purple first sector. Do we have enough battery? Let's see if Doohan can set a fastest lap. It'll give him something to cling to from this weekend. Hulkenberg is in front. He has now run out of battery. Has he done enough, though? Chances are one of the big boys will come and take this away from him anyway. But he's done the fastest lap of the race. a 120.4, and he will now need to just cool it on the tyres a little bit, and we'll see what he can do. He's got 5 seconds to Stroll, which is unlikely to happen. Now is Van Dorn. He's done a purple middle sector. Can he go and set the fastest lap of the race? We've still got Tsunoda right behind us, which is highly frustrating. And Van Dorn does not set the fastest lap of the race. Doohan is definitely faster over one lap, isn't he? Just doesn't quite have the consistency, I think. Oh, we've got a virtual safety car. Hulkenberg has hit Doohan. They were battling each other. Let's have a quick look here. Hulkenberg is out. Yeah, he's behind Doohan. Does he make contact? Oh, is that Doohan? No, that's not. Is that Doohan? Oh wait, no, Doohan's behind. We're the weird livery, aren't we? So he's out. So I mean, it doesn't change too much necessarily. But Van Dorn is ahead right now of Tsunoda, so that helps that cause a little bit. An actual safety car might have spiced things up, but a virtual doesn't. I mean, it doesn't change too much, really, does it? So the virtual safety car has ended, and we have 4 laps to go. We're not a lap down, I don't think, are we? No. And we shouldn't be a lap down. So we're going to deploy, and we're going to see if we can break the spirit of Tsunoda. And the answer to that is no, as he goes cruising past. Our tyres are still a little cold, so that is maybe not ideal, but the 4 DRS zones here mean that it's more or less impossible to get clear. What my plan of attack is if we can, because there's this back-to-back DRS first 2 straights, if we can get to a situation where, and this is going to be it, where we're behind on the first one, and then can maybe get past into this one, then pull away with DRS down the second straight. I think we're just about going to manage to do that. And we might be able to manage, especially if this Haas can get in the way. And Pourchaire is just locked up, and suddenly Pourchaire is only 3 seconds up the road, and he has no doubt done a bit of damage to those medium tyres of his. Well, this is just, you can see, like he may not have DRS, but just the slipstream that's probably Pourchaire right there. The slipstream is gonna just bring him back to us. So it looks like we have potentially broken that. Doohan with 2 laps can go and deploy whatever he's got left. But let's see if we can go and take a chunk out of Pourchaire here. Now it's not going to be 6 seconds a lap slower this next lap, but if we can get to within the DRS, we just might give ourselves a chance on the final lap. I think we've got to drain the battery trying to get there, don't we? We've got to. There's no point having battery and not being in his DRS. We may end up falling just a little bit short here. The tyres are certainly cooked. We've given it our best bet, but yeah, he's done a 120 and we did a 121. So let's call that off. There's no point sticking it in a fence. We've got 2 points as things stand. Doohan in 12th is fine. I mean, he's had a spin, a lock-up, sort of a bit of everything has gone wrong for him, but yeah, that's okay, as Piastri misses out winning his home race by 0.3 of a second. So that's a little bit of a hard luck story for him. Both of our cars, though, finishing on the lead lap. Now, yes, we did have a safety car that has kept us on the lead lap, but that's still fairly promising. This is another course. I don't think it necessarily helped us. Long straights, DRS zones, not our strong point, but it's P9 for Van Dorn. It is another point-scoring finish, which is huge, and it will be Doohan coming across, disappointedly, no doubt, to come 12th in his home race on the lead lap. Briefly held fastest lap as well. So there's some things to look at there that are positive. So Van Dorn down 1 to 9th, which is okay. Doohan down 1 to 12th. And if we go and have a look at the driver's standing, Stoffel Van Dorn is 9th. It's sort of a little bit behind my head there, isn't it? Let's see if we can get me in a little bit of a better place. And Doohan is, of course, still just has the 2 points from Bahrain. Now, constructors, we're ahead of RB, which is where we need to be. And of course, beating Sonoda there helped as well, didn't it? So 5th in the standings so far. That would be a magnificent end to if we could stay there all season. And Doohan got us a 5th place in the pit stops as well, which puts us top. Red Bull get nothing, and we have the best pit crew in Formula 1 after 3 races, which is very, very nice indeed. And we've got our $1 million or so in the bank as well with those results. And we've upgraded our memorabilia room, so that's now a level 2. And Doohan is now a 78 level driver, which is, I think, equal with Van Dorn, isn't it? So yeah, they're officially equal now. Now, this was an F3 weekend as well. I think it was an F3 weekend. It was an F3 weekend. How did we go? Christian Mansell 3rd. He's having a really, really good season, isn't he? So F3 in Melbourne. All right, so let's have a look here. Mansell up 1. Montoya was 5th. And do we see Arvid Lindblad anywhere? He's not having such a good time of things, is he? He's down there in 21st. So that was the main race, the sprint race. Villa Gomez. So Mansell was 5th and 6th. Montoya and Mansell. And let's have a look here for Lindblad. Again, not having a good time. He's such a good prospect in real life. And just not having a good time of it. Apparently everybody was 3 laps down there. And qualifying, where did we qualify? Mansell 4th, Montoya 5th, and Lindblad 21st. So yeah, Arvid's got a little way to go, doesn't he? But anyway, that's that. If you've enjoyed it, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. We'll be back next time for, is it Imola next? What's next? No, Japan is next. That could suit our car. So that's going to be an interesting one. Until then, guys, open Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.